Welcome back to the PAC Sports Network for our halftime show, as we are now joined by head coach of the Washington and Jefferson men's basketball team, Coach Ethan Stewart-Smith. Coach, first off, thanks so much for joining us today. Your team has been playing very well as of late. I mean, what's been clicking for your group that has kind of turned the season around for them?
I think just finally starting to put the pieces together. We certainly got off to a little bit of a slow start and just weren't good enough for long stretches throughout the year. And feel like we've just really kind of started to trust each other a little bit more, rely on each other a little bit more. Definitely feels much better right now with us playing better. And I think that's allowed our confidence to grow a little bit and just continue to build chemistry with it being a new group on a yearly basis, right? So, I'm just glad we're kind of moving in the right direction and have seen some steady progress. And now we're just hoping to kind of close out the year on a high note and, give ourselves an opportunity at a possible postseason bid.
Well, you mentioned kind of the slow start that you guys had. I mean, what do you think has been the biggest difference or just the biggest key from that beginning part of the season to now for this team?
I think it's just in general production. We have a lot of guys that have been through it before that just weren't playing up to their abilities. And as the season has progressed, I feel like now we're getting consistent effort and production from returners that we've needed. That especially Nick Gearhart was off to a little bit of a slow start, and now he's completely controlling games for us on both ends. We ask a lot of him being a leader on this team. Ask a lot of him on the defensive side with kind of playing multiple positions within our kind of full court pressure and playing against some bigger bodies. And then he's kind of moved into a point forward role for us, leading our team in assists and starting to score a little bit more consistently. His efficiency and his numbers have gotten back up to kind of closer to where they have been in the past. So I think just his kind of return to an ability to steady us down the stretch and lead our team down the stretch has just kind of gotten us back up to kind of where our expectations are.
Well, with kind of those early games not going in the way that you guys ultimately wanted them to go, how were you able to keep the group so focused and kind of set on, again, kind of looking at the big picture?
Yeah, I think that, in years past, we've done a really good job of closing those close games, and this year we have not. But that also means you're really close to being able to break through. And I think our entire team knew that. Our entire team felt that. This is one of our largest groups of seniors that we've ever had that has experienced a ton of success. So I think just the overall urgency, especially from that group of knowing that their clock is running out as far as the college basketball experience is concerned. Has really kind of sparked our group and started playing with a little bit more urgency and focus. And we've been better for it.
Well, I'm glad that you brought up Nick Gearhart a few minutes ago because I want to circle back to him because, like you said, such a unique player and he's been doing it at such a high level for so many years. What makes his game stand out so much as a player?
Yeah, just how he's transformed his game. Honestly, he came in as a young guy and just really just relied on him to score. And he's kind of, similar to how Kyron Mitchell has been for us in the past, where you've got a bigger guard that kind of scored a little bit early on in their career. And then as they progressed and had more talent around them, turned into really dynamic playmakers, right? So that's where Nick has had, it's been fun to see his growth basketball wise, because like I said, we relied on him to score a lot in his early days. And now we're asking him to do a little bit of everything. His scoring numbers are down, which is fine. That's not necessarily what this team needs, but he kind of gets us organized. And again, it's just been a great playmaker for us this year with, still impacting the game by getting easy shots for his teammates by I assume top five in the league in assists, I would imagine.
Well, on top of his great play, you've also brought back the consistency from three and J.R. Mazza continuing to be kind of that 3-point specialist for you. What does his presence do on the floor for your team and allow for your team to accomplish offensively?
Yeah, it just gives other people space to operate. We feel like we've got some good drivers and some good mismatch guys that can operate in one-on-one situations down low. So when you've got a guy like JR that on any given night can see the ball go through the hoop from the perimeter, it just allows guys, again, space to operate on the interior because of that 3-point threat.
Well, on top of the experience, you also have a nice blend of some youth on the team and really kind of headlining that. Matt Seidel continues to kind of lead that charge. How has his addition to the program kind of given the team a little bit of a lift, especially with his ability to score?
Yeah, it's been really fun, and that's something we kind of expected from that sophomore group. He and Brandon G. Keeler were kind of the two that had consistent opportunities last year, and we expected to see growth from another two sophomores and Alex Acosta and Ryan McCourt. So with those groups, it's been fun to see them mature and grow, and we rely on those guys every single night to come out and produce on both ends of the floor. We're asking Matt to guard the other team's best players consistently and then score for us, and then same thing with Acosta. He's guarding some other really good post players in this league, and he's getting us close to 20 a night, an efficient 20 a night as well, just through effort and competitiveness.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Alex Acosta because his year, really, like you said, just a stellar season for him. How do you feel that Acosta and Seidel kind of play off of each other, kind of feed off of each other, especially as two very good scorers?
Yeah, that's where they really complement each other, right? Hopefully, you're choosing defenses or forcing defenses to kind of pick and choose. Do you put two on Seidel on driving situations, which opens up drop down post up opportunities or dump downs for Acosta, or if you let Acosta play one on one, he's shooting close to 60% from the floor. He's probably going to be pretty productive, right? So that's where just the way our team is built and the way we're playing recently, hopefully we're kind of forcing defenses to make a decision. Do we focus on the interior, which opens up some perimeter play, or do you focus on the perimeter, which then you're going to allow Acosta gets to, and Plotner as well, who's another big for us as a freshman that's found his groove, allows those guys to be really efficient and productive on the interior when other teams are focused on the perimeter play.
Well, with that balance, obviously, I think a big part of the success you guys have been having recently. But with the season kind of winding down, I mean, how much have you noticed kind of that sense of urgency from your group increasing with kind of, like you said, against the clock a little bit and with very few regular season games left?
Yeah, it's definitely apparent. It's a reality of the situation that we're in. So it's something that we try to kind of talk about at length every day. It's the clock is running out, and we just want to continue to get better over this last month, and again these last 3 weeks especially. I feel like we've certainly started to practice better and play better, and we've got 2 more weeks left to continue to kind of see that progress, right? So that's been fun. Wish we would have had some of that experience a little bit earlier in the year, but as I said, that's the reality of this situation right now. We understand kind of where we are and what we need to do, which is just focus on us. At this point, we just need to keep playing with that sense of urgency, and just keep playing well, and hope that some other teams within the standings kind of give us a little bit of help down the stretch here. But we're focused on us 100% and kind of understand what we need to do on our end.
Well, it will definitely be an exciting end to the season to see how you and the Presidents finish out. But Coach, before we let you run, just want to hear from you. I know, like we keep mentioning, kind of on the outside looking in right now of the playoff picture. But what do you think will be key in your team making that final push into the PAC tournament?
Yeah, I think it's just us being us. I think playing with versatility, playing with competitiveness and edge. Obviously, we're kind of have been talking about these being elimination games for the second round of our league play. It's definitely a cluster. You've got two teams in Geneva and St. Vincent really kind of battling for those 1-2 spots. And then it's a little bit of a cluster and mix up from there down. So we're just, again, really focused on us and playing as well as we possibly can down the stretch, and let the other teams kind of beat each other up a little bit, and hopefully give us some help on a couple of these nights with tiebreaker criteria and all of that, right? But again, I haven't paid too close the attention to the standings. As I said, our team, we're just really focused on ourselves right now and making sure that we're prepared every single night to play as well as we possibly can. And that's going to give us a chance to, again, win some of these games, which is going to give us a chance to get a postseason berth.
Well, we appreciate you stopping by today on the Halftime Show, Coach. Thanks so much, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks so much for having me, Jack. I appreciate it.
That's Washington and Jefferson head men's basketball coach Ethan Stewart-Smith. Don't go anywhere, as we'll have more second half action coming up next on the PAC Sports Network.